So about 4 months ago was the last time I made a pilgrimage to the Church of Swains, which is my 3-minute hill rep session that I used to do maybe 3 to 4 times a week. And that has been replaced with Zwift. And it has been really interesting to exclusively train in Zwift for the last 4 months and then emerge into the sunshine for the first time today since then, and really have everything put into perspective about training to try and reach your fitness potential in the city, because the traffic is the biggest drawback, and it has been so eye-opening to see how wattage suppressing the traffic really is. Having been out here for an hour now, I've done maybe 3-4 reps of a 3-minute hill, and that is it. And in Zwift, you just get let off the leash. You can go for as long as you want, as hard as you want, and no brakes, no toxic particulates coming out of the back of a car when you try to do 400 watts. It is bliss, but you have to be indoors and you don't get to enjoy the sunshine. I was going to say fresh air, but it isn't. But that's just the reality of city life, I guess, because no matter what time of day I go out, always going to be traffic, and it's always going to be a level of danger where you have to concentrate more on what is going on around you than you can on trying to push yourself through an effort. I realise now how much it's capped my fitness, having to try and train out here on little 3-minute hills. And really, it's all about how much do you want it? How much do you want to reach your fitness potential? And in the past, you know, I've pushed myself to my limit again and again and again going around here. It's just that now, having raced in Zwift, I've had it so good that that I can't imagine doing 10 reps of this hill now, or it's going to be much more difficult for me. Not fitness wise, but just the will to want to go round and round and get stuck behind traffic every single time I have to descend to go back up again. And then when I go back up again, there's cars like brushing the side of me when I'm doing 400 watts, then staying in front of me, just in front of me, like just pumping out pollutants, nitrogen dioxide into my lungs, which is delicious when you're on your limit. And it's just the reality of city life, but it's just been put into perspective for me that it's been such a wattage suppressor, the traffic. The other thing is how much easier it is to push watts outdoors. One, because of the heat, because there's less heat, because I'm actually having wind go over my body, and no matter, well, I've got a pretty piddly fan, and having adapted now to the heat in Zwift being static, my body has become more efficient, and then when you put it out here, it's more efficient at cooling itself because of the training that I've done, the Zwift training, that now when I'm outside I'm actually getting cooled, and my body doesn't have to do as much work as it did before when it was trying to cool it, doing the same efforts. It means that it can put that energy into actually pushing watts, more watts. But the thing that I've really enjoyed has been the sun. Being out here in the sun after a cold, dark winter feels so good. And this is pretty much the first time I've been out in the sun with my bike doing hill reps, where I've been able to get out the saddle and articulate my bike from side to side as I'm going up the hill, and the freedom that you feel, it gave me goosebumps, and it's something that I haven't felt for 4 months. And it's a feeling of freedom, because like they say on Instagram, outside is free, and despite the traffic and the pollution and the realities of city cycling, the feeling of freedom is still there, and I felt that today. And I remembered why I enjoy cycling outside when I'm on my limit, out the saddle, waggling my bike from side to side, because I don't have to articulate, I don't have to mold myself around the bike like I do on a static setup. I can get out here and just, the feeling of freedom is so good. So that's about it. I've been out here today really to test my equipment, because we are headed to Mallorca on Saturday, and I didn't want to land in Mallorca and have something not work outside because I haven't had a rear wheel on this bike for a while, and I wanted to make sure that it still worked, and it does, which is good. And also testing out these headphones for some tunes whilst I'm ascending Cyclist for a Cyclist TT. These are bone conducting earphones, so they don't sit, they're not in-ear, which means that I can still hear the traffic, which is obviously a lot safer than having in-ear headphones where you can't, noise cancelling ones. And they seem to work really well. I can still hear the music and hear the traffic at the same time. There's no loss of awareness, which is exactly why I got these. So I'll leave these down in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in Mallorca.